So in this video, I'm going to reveal the exact Google Ads strategy and tactics we use to increase this e-commerce brand's revenue by 98% and their ROAS by 270% in their first December of running ads with us. Then in their first January of running ads with us, we managed to increase their revenue by 79% and their ROAS by 52%. To demonstrate how we did this video we've broken down into the following: the product feed, the campaign strategy, meta, and website CRO. So starting with the product feed, this client's product feed was in serious need of improvement. The titles and descriptions were really short and didn't include the essential keywords needed for users to convert. Then the product imagery used looked quite amateur in comparison to the competitors, which is really important to improve, especially as this is a high ticket item. So this client only had under 10 products, which meant they used a manual Google Sheet product feed, which gave us great flexibility for optimizing and improving on. So following the audit, the main areas of concern and to improve on were the product titles, the product descriptions, and the product images. Starting with the titles, the longest title they actually had for a product was 33 characters out of the 150 character maximum limit we could use. And it also didn't include essential search terms and keywords that people could use to convert. So we wanted to extend these titles to maximize 150 characters and also find the best structure for these titles. So to brainstorm the best title structure, we did the following. So first of all, we harvested essential keywords and search terms within the product page. Then we went to input these keywords into Google Shopping so we could see what the competitors were doing and how they were structuring their titles and what they were including. And number 3, which is a bit of a cheat code, is to actually review the high converting search terms directly within the client's Google Ads account. The reason we do this is because the way you search for something might not be the way someone else searches for something. There might be multiple search terms that we need to be aware of and that can convert for our product. And we want to make sure we're using all of these search terms in our product titles. For this example, this client had 3 different search terms that people were converting on and could convert on, but none of those were actually shown in the title structure. So then based on keyword research and historical data in the Google Ads account, we front-loaded these with the high priority keywords in our titles. This meant our titles went from looking like this to looking like this. This was then a similar story for what we had as the original descriptions. The maximum character count we actually had in this was 215 characters, and we always aim for 1,500 characters. So using a similar research strategy with the main focus being on the content on the client's website, we made sure to front load our descriptions with the priority keywords and made use of 1,500 characters. This turned our descriptions from looking like this to this. Final improvement for the product feed was the images being used. So the initial product images didn't have a professional feel to them. And this is especially important when we are selling a high ticket item ranging from £250 to £800. To solve this, we had the products sent out to our photography partner who created multiple different shots of the products to be used not only in the product feed but also in the websites. This took our Google Shopping images from looking like this to looking like this. Next up was a campaign strategy, and for this we used the full funnel approach. At the top of funnel, we capitalized on the promising historical data of the existing display campaign that the client had been using to generate demand for the brand and the products. After reviewing this campaign's targeting, we further improved it by adding in relevant exclusions. And from what the customer was going to be seeing, we improved the copy and also the images used in the ads. Then moving into the middle of funnel, this consisted of 3 different campaign types: search, PMax, and standard shopping. The PMax and standard shopping campaigns were segmented into our classic higher and lower demand splits to start with, and the aim of running PMax and standard shopping was just to A/B test the campaign times against each other so we could find out which resonates the best with this client's customers. We did this because we were running both US and UK websites. Then directly within the PMax campaign, we actually A/B tested a full asset group. This includes all of the copy, all of the images, and all of the videos against the feed-only approach. The aim here is to actually make one of the campaign types redundant. This test actually produced very similar results, so we just ran with both approaches. Unbranded search terms for the products in a dedicated search campaign. This was done so we were covering Google search from a high quality angle and not just relying on Performance Max for this. Then at the bottom of the funnel, we followed a standard procedure with a brand search campaign to protect our brand name from our competitor bidding. And we also used a dynamic remarketing campaign to capture people who are yet to convert. Then moving on to Meta, we actually expanded our clients' offering onto Meta so we could create an omni-channel presence with a main focus of top-of-funnel prospecting campaigns and bottom-of-funnel remarketing campaigns. Within the prospecting campaign, we tested 7 different messaging angles so we could find out what best resonates with our customers and what they need to convert. Was it going to be benefit-driven copy, practical feature-driven copy, or emotional end-state copy that converts the best? That's what we're testing here. Whereas the retargeting campaigns focus more on objection handling with risk reversing copy like no quibble 30-day money-back guarantee, 12-month warranty, and using any other FAQs we have in the website. With the other messaging used here being the common objections we see in our frequently asked questions or in our reviews. So finally, with this client, we actually underwent a complete redesign of their product page, as this was an area of significant potential to improve the conversion rate and the average order value we were generating, which ultimately improves performance across all marketing channels. Client's website from looking like this to this. So in conclusion, the success for this client didn't just come from making improvements to their Google Ads campaigns. It came from a holistic approach. This came from addressing factors outside of the Google Ads account that significantly influence the performance inside the Google Ads account. This is what I call your digital landscape, and it is where you're sending the traffic from your ads. Quick wins and improvements to your digital landscape can produce significant uplifts in average order value and conversion rates, which increases the ROAS and your cost per purchase, which ultimately improves your main metric you care about, which is profit. The clients that we see the best results from are the ones who actually focus on the digital landscape and not just funneling ad spend into Facebook and Google. So that's it from me for this video. If you're an e-commerce business generating over $50,000 per month and you would like to gain some results like this, then please go to the link in the description where you can go to our website and you can book a call to speak to either myself or a member of the team. I look forward to hearing about your business.